Hello and welcome to Movement with Laurelle, hosted by Wild Wandering Creations. This is a 40-minute restorative practice. You'll need one bolster or two pillows from your bed. Either will work just fine. You can go ahead, grab your props, get into something comfortable, and find your way onto your back. Can bend both knees, soles of the feet grounded down, coming into our constructive rest. Arms alongside the body, palms facing up or facing down towards the earth. Going right to our breath, focusing on each inhale and exhale. And taking a moment in stillness to recognize that yoga is an ancient Eastern practice, most notably from India. And thanking our South Asian ancestors who cultivated this practice for us to be able to partake in it. You can go ahead and bring your awareness back to the breath. And as you focus on each inhale and exhale, maybe you set an intention for your practice today, a sankalpa. It could be as simple as I am here, I am present, I am calm, I am peaceful. Our focus of the class today is going to be Satya, our truth, our essence. And I invite you to experience your truth in its entirety throughout the entire practice, really going inward and discovering what is true to you. Feeling the rise and fall of the belly and chest with each in-breath and out-breath. Maybe bringing your palms to the belly and beginning to direct your awareness to the pelvic floor. Notice that space underneath the spine there. It doesn't quite make contact with the mat. And draw your awareness to your tailbone. And as you inhale, I invite you to draw the tailbone up towards the sky, bringing your whole spine down towards the earth. And then as you exhale, letting the spine naturally round, finding that curve. Inhale, lift the tailbone up. Feel the spine ground down. Exhale, allow the spine to naturally curve. Moving with breath, inhale to draw the tailbone up. Exhale to let it relax back down. Moving a few times on your own, with your own breath, your own pace. Finding a little pelvic rock, closing down the eyes and reaching sort of a meditative state. Feeling the hands move on the hips and the belly as you inhale and draw the tailbone up. And as you exhale and the spine comes back to that natural curve. Continuing to breathe, continuing to focus on each in-breath and each out-breath. A couple more times. And then drawing the knees into the chest. And giving yourself a nice little rock from side to side. Maybe putting the palms on top of the knees and circling them out. Moving in one direction. And then moving the other direction. And just really breathing through the sensations. Noticing how you're feeling, how the body's feeling. And all the points the breath is traveling to. Interlacing your hands on your right knee, draw it into your chest, and take that left leg nice and long. And hug it in towards your chest. Trying not to strain, just feeling a nice easy stretch. And breathing into that right hip. Just breathing. Grabbing onto that right knee with your right hand and drawing it over towards that right side, opening up that hip. Again, nice and easy. You're not trying to strain, not pull. Just feel that nice stretch, that nice opening in the hip. And begin to direct your breath into that right side, noticing how it feels. And coming back to Satya, our truth, our essence. And then you can gently draw the knee back through center. Interlace those hands behind your thigh and begin to draw it close towards the chest. Begin to circle out that ankle. Not worrying if you have a slight bend in your knee, that's totally okay. It's just a nice, easy, gentle stretch. Roll out the ankle in all directions, breathing into it. And drawing it a little closer to the chest. Breathing length into the back of the right leg. One more deep breath here. And then you can draw that knee back into your chest. Pull it in towards you for one breath. And then with your left hand, pull that right knee all the way across the body, finding supine twist. You can take your arms out nice and wide. And this is when the bolster or pillow might be helpful to add a little bit more support for that right knee. You can just slide it underneath the knee, allowing it to rest so that you don't have to really worry about where it's going. And then you can take those arms out nice and wide in that T shape, or you can use that left hand for support on that knee and just draw your gaze over towards that right side. Allow yourself to really settle into the shape and feeling the muscles relax, feeling safe and supported by the ground underneath you. Noticing any areas that might need a little bit more encouragement to soften, to let go, and breathing into those areas. Allow yourself to really go inward and only bring your attention to the breath, letting it find its natural rhythm. It flows in and it flows out. I'm going to be holding these poses for a little bit longer, and I'll leave you with moments of silence. Have no fear. I will gently guide you out when the time is right. And you can gently begin to bring some awareness back into the body, back into the breath. Just letting it deepen a little bit before you start to move. And then gently drawing the knees into your chest. You can move your props off to the side. And just pausing with those knees drawn in, maybe swaying from side to side. Then you can interlace those hands around that left knee. Take that right leg nice and long and draw the left knee in towards your chest. Allowing the head, neck, and shoulders to relax down on the mat. Nice and easy, breathing space into that left side body. Notice how this side might feel different from the first. Just observing, not judging. And then you can gently peel open that left knee with your left hand. Again, nice and easy, trying not to strain at all. Just feeling that nice opening of the hip. And directing your breath into that area. And one more deep breath here. And then you can draw that knee back through center. Interlace those hands behind that knee, just underneath the thigh. Maybe you have a slight bend in that knee. And draw it a little closer to your chest. And then you can begin to roll out that ankle. Moving one way and then moving in the opposite direction. Nice and easy. Really deepening your connection with the breath and really experiencing each shape that we move into. And draw that knee into your chest for one breath. And then with that right hand, gently guide that knee across the body, using the support if you wish to have it, and sliding it underneath that knee. Opening up those arms nice and wide in that T shape, or maybe you find goddess arms with your elbows bent. Gaze can fall up towards the sky, or you can gently direct it over towards that left side. And find your breath, find that connection, and begin to deepen your awareness with your own truth and wisdom. What lies at the heart of your yogic practice? How do you honor your truth? And slowly begin to deepen the breath and bringing that connection back into the body, back into the breath. And when you feel ready, you can gently begin to find your way onto your back. And drawing both knees into your chest and moving the props off to the side. And pausing there for a moment, notice how this feels different than it did at the beginning of the practice. And then gently rolling onto one side. And trying to keep the eyes closed or the gaze soft. And breathing space into the body. And then gently finding your way up. And coming onto your knees. And taking the knees nice and wide. Big toes touch. And drawing the arms forward in front of you. Reaching to the top of the mat. Finding wide-legged child's pose. And drawing the seat down towards your heels. And breathing into the pelvis and along the spine. Allowing yourself to go inward here and quiet the mind. And what can you discover when you are still, when you are quiet? On your next in-breath, begin to draw the body up just enough so you can slide that right arm underneath the left. And drawing that right shoulder down and that right ear down. And breathing space into that right shoulder. And just sinking deeper into it. And continuing to breathe space into that pelvis. And then as you inhale, switching sides, drawing that left arm underneath the right. Left ear comes down, left shoulder comes down. And seeing if you can draw that left hip a little further down. And breathing space into the pelvis. And feel that breath travel the length of your spine and really settle into this shape. One more breath here. And then inhale, draw both arms forward. Roll out that forehead from side to side. And then gently begin to walk your hands back in towards your body, closing the knees. Palms come on top of the thighs. Roll those shoulders down the back and roll out that neck. And finding some mobility in the head, neck, and shoulders. Keeping the eyes closed or the gaze soft. And then gently grab your support, whether it's a bolster or 2 pillows. And bringing it to the top of the mat on its full length. And drawing your right hips to the base of the pillow or bolster. We're coming into prone twist, so you want your knees bent towards the left. And then you're going to fold your upper body onto your support, arms alongside the support. You can draw your gaze towards the left side facing the knees, or the right side if you want a little bit more of a stretch in that neck. Play around with it. Play around with this shape. Find what works for you. And then really, really settle into it. With each exhale, feel the body soften a little further into that support. Allowing the eyes to close and allowing yourself to really enjoy this moment. And if the mind starts to wander, just gently pull it back to the present, to the breath. You can mentally recite inhale on each inhale and exhale on each exhale. Inhale, exhale, inhale, exhale, inhale, exhale. And slowly beginning to deepen the breath, focusing on the in-breath and the out-breath, bringing some awareness back into the body, back into the breath. And coming back to Satya, our inner truth, our essence, and tapping into that. Slowly begin to push yourself off of that support. And if you don't feel ready, that's okay. Just take your time and listen to what you need. We're just going to move onto the opposite side, drawing your left hip towards the base of that support, and then slowly bowing down, and bringing the upper body down onto that bolster or those pillows. Adjusting the neck, maybe turning it towards the left side to give that neck a little extra stretch, or turning the neck and head to face that right side the same direction as the knees. Find what works for you. Find what feels good for you. And then allow yourself to settle in. And come back to the breath. Allow each exhale to bring you a little deeper. And come back to your truth. How do you honor your own truth? Your own experience in your practice? Allow your focus to deepen, bringing connection and awareness to your truth and wisdom. Allowing yourself to be here in this moment, not worrying about where you were before here or where you need to go after, just really being right here. Just focusing on the breath as it moves in and out of the body. And slowly beginning to bring your awareness back to the breath, back to the body. And bringing some awareness to the thoughts and sensations that you're experiencing through this practice today. As we deepen our awareness and connection to our own truth and wisdom, what do we discover? What do we uncover? Relishing in the presence of peace and mind as we hold each pose for extended periods of time. Notice how the body feels rested and supported when we take the time to do something just for ourselves. And beginning to deepen the breath. And when you feel ready, you can slowly begin to move out of this shape. And taking your time, moving mindfully, maybe even keeping the gaze soft or the eyes closed. We're going to move our pillow or our bolster halfway down our mat, horizontal to the top of the mat. And we're just going to slide our legs over top, making sure that the support is underneath the knees. If this doesn't feel good for your knees, there's no worries. You do not need to have it. You can gently remove it off to the side. And coming into our final pose of Shavasana, make sure that you're nice and comfortable and taking up as much space as you need, making any last minute adjustments before you find your stillness. Allowing the arms to fall alongside the body, palms facing up towards the sky. Feet fall away from each other. And connecting to that breath in and out. If you want to do a few releasing breaths, you can inhale deeply through the nose, hold it at the top, and then exhale, sigh out the mouth. One more deep belly breath. In through the nose, hold it at the top, and exhale, let it go. And feel yourself sink deeper into the earth, feeling safe and supported by the ground underneath you. And become aware of the breath through the nostrils without altering it. Simply observe the calm, gentle, yet natural rhythm of the breath. Feel the breath like an ocean's tide. It flows in and it flows out. The breath gently caresses the nasal passage. Sense the prana, life energy of the breath caressing the nasal passage. Now with each passing exhale, begin to count backwards from the number 11. As you reach 0, surrender into the space that permits the mind, the space that permits all the layers of your being. Gently bringing your awareness back to the breath and deepening each inhale and each exhale. Coming back to our truth, our essence, Satya. What have you uncovered in your truth throughout your practice today? And if you're being called to move, you can begin to wiggle the fingers and toes. And know if you don't feel ready to move, you can stay exactly as you are. Maybe rock the head from side to side. And then slowly and mindfully rolling onto one side. And drawing the knees in towards your chest. And pausing there for a moment. Observing the body, breathing into its sensations. And then gently, with the eyes closed or the gaze soft, find your way to a comfortable seat. And grounding down through the sits bones, sitting up nice and tall. We could roll out the neck a few times. Settle into stillness. And draw the hands together at heart center, bowing down towards your hands. And thank yourself for showing up for this practice, for doing something for you. And coming back to your intention that you set at the beginning of practice and holding it in your heart. And with gratitude for our practice and with gratitude for our community, thank you for sharing your space with me today. Thank you, thank you, thank you.